Hello, my name is Georgina Schumer. I'm one of the newest members of the Granite City Folk Society Board, and I thereby get nominated to come up here and chat with you, so please be kind to me. This is just part of the job. We thank you so much, so very much, for coming out tonight and joining us. It is such a wonderful thing to see so many people coming together to enjoy live music. And it is something that Paul is extremely passionate about, and he doesn't toot his horn very often, but he has been one of the main instigators of the Five and Dime series, which is the Friday night series that is going on here, and really making sure that artists have an opportunity to go out there and perform in front of live audiences and to bring forth their music, their gift, their talent, so other people can enjoy that and learn more about them. And I thank you so much, Paul, for everything that you do for us in that manner. And then you come up here and grace our stage, so that is so amazing. Not only does the stage get graced by Paul, but in the coming weeks, we have some huge acts. We have the Bitterroot Band next week. We have Irish Dement on April 7th. We also have Ursa Major. Ursa Major. I can honestly say I have no idea about that one.
It's Brother John.
Cool.
It's folky.
Well,
And
then it's...
a little sassy for a monk, actually.
Oh, good. I like it. Thank you. A little more information right from the audience. We have a Curtis and Loretta home concert at Paul's place, but you do need to purchase tickets in advance, no just showing up at his house unannounced. We also have Kevin Carlson with Josh, one of his students. They'll be performing some of his music and additional pieces. Cannery Row. Patchouli is also coming up on the 17th of May. The Granite City Folk Society does not just happen. It is a nonprofit organization, and people make donations, and people come out like you have tonight and help to support us. And also, this organization is made possible by the voters of Minnesota through a grant from the Central Minnesota Arts Board, thanks to a legislative appropriation from the Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund, and we thank them very much for that. We also thank the Grand Stay. We thank Bo Diddley for providing us with this wonderful listening space so that we might enjoy it some more. And if you have missed something, please look us up on the web. We're on Facebook. We love to hear from you. We have a YouTube channel. But most of all, just thank you so much for coming out tonight and supporting us. And I give the microphone and the stage back over to Paul. Thank you so much.
Well, that was a mandola, and this is a mandolin, and the technical difference is the mandola has kind of a white face, hard face.
Yeah.
And it's actually not really wise for me to play them next week because you have to reach a little bit further. And so I'm just going to keep my fingers adjusted here. Surprisingly, not many people ask me how I write songs, which is probably really good because it's kind of like making sausage. It's not really a very pretty or interesting thing. But since you didn't ask, I will tell you. I kind of sit around. It's like it's the perfect job for me because I'm kind of scattered. I kind of just sit around and I doodle. I doodle on my instruments. And if there's something I like, I say, I should try to remember that as best. You know, once in a while I'll write something down, but that's work. You know, so I was playing my mandolin and this little lick. I said, that's a nice little lick. You're going to hear that lick an awful lot in this next song. I've been working on this children's album of music, and this one I certainly plan to have on it. I have already recorded the drum part, the bass part, a little tin whistle, backup singer, and the mandolin and guitar part to it. You just get to hear the mandolin part, which is how I wrote the song, by playing this little lick and then saying, what does it feel like? This old bike runs so fine, open road friend of mine, and the seat sits just right, not too low, not too high. Pedals sing up and down, high and low, round and round, carry me through the air on the breeze through our town. I like biking everywhere I go. It feels like flying when I start to roll. There'll be hilltops and mountains up ahead to climb, and I'll climb them on this old bike of mine. Now you can help me all. Your word is do-do-do-do-do-do, along with the mandolin. Here we go. This old bike was Grandpa Ike's, the treasure of the family. He passed it down to my dad, Dad had passed it down to me. Tuned her up, tires pumped, checked the bearings and brakes. Looped the chain, polished frame, broken spokes we replaced. I like biking everywhere I go. What feels like flying when I start to roll. There'll be hilltops and mountains up ahead to climb, and I'll climb them on this old bike of mine. Set your wings to handlebars, reaching out for the stars. As you ride, keep your eyes open wide for trucks and cars. Gravity's calling me, chasing me like a bumblebee. Hum along to sing a song, biking on, oh so free. Oh, I like biking everywhere I go. What feels like flying when I start to roll. There'll be hilltops and mountains up ahead to climb, and I'll climb them on this old bike of mine. You can legally say that you're the first audience that's ever heard that song. So thank you for doing it. I wish I would have, well, we did record it in a way, but I'm not sure if I can import that over to the studio. But maybe, if it was at the same tempo, but probably not. You know, I'm not supposed to tell you, I wrote out a set list, but I left it in one of my cases and it got carried way back. So I'm just kind of winging it, trying to remember what I'm supposed to do next. So why not trick or treat? This is a little dulcimer tune called the Gypsy Laundry. Well, you sang the doo-doo-doos so well. I think I should play a song that you can sing along with. I imagine many of you know it. When I got here today, you know, there's often folk music playing at Bodilli's if you've eaten here, and often it's you hear a couple of songs from one artist and then it moves on. But there's about 10 songs in a row by this artist, and the Folk Society would love to bring him to St. Cloud. This next person who wrote this next song. This is probably about the first song I ever heard of his. So Joy Gina was talking about helping. So like everybody, could contribute about $5,000 each. We could probably. There's a song by John Prine. I was a child, my family would travel down to western Kentucky where my parents were born. Back Woods Old Town, often remembered, so many times that the memories are warm. And Daddy, won't you take me back to Muhlenberg County, down by Green River where paradise lay? Well, I'm sorry, my son, but you're too late in asking. Peabody's coal train has hauled. Why don't we sing that again one more time? And Daddy, won't you take me back to Muhlenberg County, down by Green River where paradise lay? I'm sorry, my son, but you're too late in asking. Peabody's coal train has hauled it away. Sometimes we would travel right down the Green River, the abandoned old prison down by Adrian Hill, where the air smells like snakes and we shoot with our pistols, but empty pop bottles are all we would kill. And Daddy, won't you take me back to Muhlenberg County, down by the Green River where paradise lay? I'm sorry, my son, but you're too late in asking. Peabody's coal train is hauled away. Old Company came with the world's largest shovel, tortured the timber and they stripped all the land. And they dug for the coal till the mine was forsaken, and wrote it all down as the progress of man. And Daddy, won't you take me back to Muhlenberg County, down by the Green River where paradise lay? I'm sorry, my son, but you're too late in asking. Somebody's coal train has hauled it away. And Daddy, won't you take me back to Muhlenberg County, down by the Green River where paradise lay? I'm sorry, my son, but you're too late in asking. Somebody's coal train has hauled it away. Somebody's coal train has hauled it away. Well, this next tune is, I think every musician has their kind of safety tunes that you kind of fall back on, that you just, most times they go pretty good. This is one of those. I've been playing this for quite a few years. Actually recorded it on 2 different albums just because once wasn't enough. This is a little tune called Cottonwoods. Just a moment here. It's actually been behaving really well. There's only 73 more. You talk among yourselves. The thing is that, there's I don't know how many, I know there are hammer dulcimer players in the audience. And there's what's called the treble bridge. There's actually, there's 2 hammer dulcimer players in the audience that I'm aware of. There might be more. There's the treble bridge, which you have to kind of equalize, you have to kind of bend and sometimes curse a little bit to get it in tune. That's the bit. Thank you for bearing with me. Well, I know you've all been waiting for my next instrument. There's something magical about the banjo, at least to me, about the banjo. I was living with a friend, and sitting on my front porch playing banjo one early June. About 3 years ago, 28 years, not 29 years ago. And a young woman walked up to the door looking for my roommate, looking for my banjo. And then, I don't know, somehow the banjo just did it for her, so she became my wife. So, I'm really not a banjo player, though. That's the whole beauty of this operation. So I feel if I play enough notes, it's kind of like a machine gun. You know, if you play enough notes, you're going to hit a few of the right ones. So I'm going to actually slow it down a little bit. This is I think this is going to go on my children's album, and it's got this weird title called "The Frying Pan." And you really have to have grown up with me to know why it's called that. But I actually learned this piece off of music, and there are right notes I'm supposed to play. You probably won't know it because this is also nobody's ever heard this song. I learned it off music. I learned off a fiddle music that I wrote a while back, and it wasn't called The Frying Pan then. But so here's the Frying Pan. Well, there's kind of a rule in folk music. If you play one song on an instrument, you have to play two songs. My specialty is actually love songs and lullabies for banjo. There's not a huge market. No. One of my little fancy tuners just to make sure, because it's extra.
Not much competition on that either, is there?
Right, that's right, there's no. I think the banjo is really really has this charming, you know, it's a very clear song. Well, when I think this song is called White Horses, and I wrote it using the banjo. I think a lot of my family members when I play it, and one of my family members kind of appears in this song in a certain way. I've got this brother who's kind of famous in St. Cloud. He's a colonel, which means he's an auctioneer, and a lot of people know him. And that theme rolls into this song. When we were growing up, my brother Frank and I, we had this band. So you know and we shared a bedroom. We were the oldest two in our family. We shared this bedroom, and he'd be in one corner playing the accordion, and I'd be in another corner playing the banjo. You know, we were playing different songs. You know, so. And I clearly remember the day. I was about 14. He'd make this declaration that I'm going to be an auctioneer when I grow up. I didn't know what an auctioneer was, but that's cool. That's cool, Frank. Calm down a little bit with that accordion. But you know, the banjo can hold its own. And you know, he not only became an auctioneer. Most of his children are auctioneers. He has, you know, most of my children have nothing to do with music. Well, they play a little bit, but they didn't follow my footsteps, which is maybe wise. But so this song is in a minor key, so you know it's really not a zippity-doo-dah song. White Horses. White horses dance across a lowly sky, lift their manes to heaven as they go slowly by. As they go slowly by, you can see them clearly now. If you lay down on the ground, if you lay down. Pack up the silver, the china and the knives. The auction boys are coming to separate our lives. Carry it outside to tables in the yard. It may not rain so hard, it may not rain. Oh, auctioneer, enchanting to the air, shouting out from a common book of prayer. One by one, when the bidding's done, we turn to a song. Count on, count on, count on, count on. If I were a painter, I'd picture you this way, underneath a willow tree on a summer day. And you'd be 19 and I'd be 24. That was before I don't paint anymore. The bridegroom dressed in glory welcomes home his bride. My friends dressed in black are standing at my side. Oh, standing at my side, not knowing what to say, not knowing what to say. They say it anyway. Oh, auctioneer, hypnotic to my ears, chanting out a verse from a common book of prayer. I won. When the bid is done, we turn to a song. Count on, count on. We turn to a song. Count on, count on, count on, count on. So I should put this plug in. If you have a lot of stuff that you want to liquidate quickly, call my brother Frank, because he'll treat you really fine. And then he puts a little plug in for my CD that he's on. But then, you know, people bid for them, and they get them for like, 50 cents. So this, just to be safe, move this mic out of my way. I'm just gonna move a little closer. I'm gonna move the mic closer. Get up, right? Because I need a little room for this. This is a piece by Stephen Vincent Benet. It's called The Mountain Whippoorwill. I was born on the mountain, never raised a pet. I don't want nothing, ain't got it yet. Born on the mountain, I was lonesome born. I was raised on Rago cattle burrow and corn. I never knew my pappy, maybe never should. I think he was a fiddle made of mountain laurel wood. I never had a mammy to teach me pretty please. I think she was a whippoorwill skittering through the trees. I never had a brother nor a whole pair of parents, but when I start to fiddle, you gotta start to dance. Listen to my fiddle. Kingdom come, hear the frogs a-jumping to the rum, jug-a-rum, and listen to the whippoorwill being lonesome in the air. And let me tell you how I traveled to that XX County Fair. They got a mighty pretty fair. All the smarty fiddlers from the south come there, elbows flying as they rising up their bow for the first prize contest of the Georgia Fiddler Show. Now there's old Dan Whelan, whiskers in his ears. He's the kingpin fiddler for nearly 20 years. And there's Big Time Sergeant with his blue wild eyes. And there's little Jimmy Weezer, why, he can make a fiddle cry. They're all sitting around spitting high, strutting proud, tuning and tuning till the judges tell the crowd. Now them that gets the mostest claps is them that wins the bestest prize. Everybody's waiting for that first tweedledee. When in comes a stumbling hillbilly mean, I bow right pretty to the judges, and I press, and I take a silver dollar from a hole inside my vest, and I pump it on the table and say, now there's my calling card. Anybody that licks me has got a fiddle hard. Old Dan Whelan, well, he's a laughing vid to holler. Little Jimmy Weezer says, now that's one dead dollar. Big Tom Sergeant, he just got a yellow toothy grin. So I tuck my whippoorwill span underneath my chin, and I pet it, and I tune it. And the judges say, begin. Big Tom Sergeant, he's the first in line. He fiddled all the bugs of a sweet potato vine. Well, he fiddled down a possum from a mile-high tree. He fiddled up a whale from the bottom of the sea, and hands clapped as they spanked each other raw. when he finished variations of Turkey and Straw, little Jimmy Weezer, he's the next to play. He fiddled all night, he fiddled all day. He fiddled chills and he fiddled fever. He could make a fiddle rustle like a lowland river. He could make a fiddle croon like a loving woman. And they all clapped like thunder when he finished strumming. Well, next came the rook of the bobtail fiddlers. Let's go easy, the fair to middlers. They got their claps and they lost their bicker and they all settled back for some more corn liquor. And the crowd was getting mighty tired of their no-count squealing. When out in the center stepped old Dan Whelan. Well, he fiddled high and he fiddled low. He fiddled and fiddled with a cherrywood bow. Now listen, Whippoorwill, you better spread your wings, 'cause old Dan Whelan's got beast honey on his strings. He even started feeling like a ghost. He fiddled up a feast for the host. He fiddled north, he fiddled south, he fiddled the heart right out of your mouth. He fiddled here, he fiddled there, he fiddled salvation in the air. And when he finished, the crowd cut loose. And I sat there wondering, said, what's the use? But I stood up put. I took my bow and I placed my fiddle on my shoulder. So when I thought, now there ain't no crowd to get me faced. 'Cause I was alone up where I was raised, up in the mountains so still it made you scared. God was sleeping in his big white beard. I've heard the song of the squirrel in the pine. I've heard the earth breathing through the long night time. And I thought, now they fiddled the rose and they fiddled the thorn, but they haven't fiddled the mountain corn. They fiddled sinful and they fiddled moral, but they haven't fiddled the brushwood laurel. They fiddled loud and they fiddled still, but they haven't fiddled the whippoorwill. So I started out with a dumb till young, and hell broke loose in Georgia. Skunk cabbage growing on a beacon stump. My mother was a whippoorwill, my father was lazy. I'm hell broke loose in a new store shirt to fit all Georgia crazy. Swing your partners up and down the middle. Sashay now and listen to my fiddle. Slap texted on red hot griddle and hell's broke loose. Fire in the mountain, snakes in the grass, in here burning up, Lord, and let them pass. Go down, Moses, set my people free. Pop goes a weasel in the old gum tree. Jonah sitting on a hickory bough up against the whale. Where's your papa now? Rabbits in the pea patch, possum in the pot, trying to stop my fiddle, 'cause my fiddle is getting hot. The mountains coming over the hills, sing to the mountains coming to the valleys, 'cause you're strutting high as an eagle's bill and hell's broke loose in Georgia. There wasn't a sound. When I stopped bowing, somewhere dawn was growing. I thought I fiddled all night and I lost. I was pretty good, but I've been lost. So I went over to congratulate old man Dan. But when I walked up to him, he placed his fiddle in my hand. And then the noise of the crowd began. Well, I've got one last song coming up. It was a few years ago. Some friends were taking a trip. Before I try to give the introduction, because I really know what I'm going to say for the introduction, I want to thank you so much for coming and sharing your evening with me. It's been a great pleasure. I want to thank Joy, Gina, and Tom, and Maureen, and Karen for working behind the bar, and the staff at the business. So I had these friends that were going on a trip, and they asked me to pick up their paper. Or their mail, I don't recall. And somewhere in the process, this first line came to me. And so I very seldom see them at a show, so I very seldom can do this song for them. So this is a song called "Learn by Heart." It actually has a variety of my neighbors that kind of wandered into the song. I didn't change any names; they're all guilty. Don and Nancy are sailing off to Italy to study paintings of the early Renaissance, vintage wine in the evening light of Tuscany, and taking a honeymoon that they promised once. This is a chance, middle-age romance. The kids have grown, they've moved away from home. I'll pick up their paper and I'll water their plants. They'll send me a postcard from Rome. Pack a little, I forgot the word. I'm going to try that chorus and hopefully it's going to come. Pack a little patience with your traveling shoes. It's the little things that we really use. We're not perfect, sometimes we come apart. So hold on close. What matters most, what we learn by heart, what we learn by heart. Rooster's crowing and Leon's making coffee. It's not the same since Iona went away. He could be bitter when the house feels empty, but he's not the type to waste a single day. She was his sweetheart for 50 years. They go out dancing on Saturday night. Talks of good times, and I know that he misses her. She's his angel in flight. Pack a little tenderness with your traveling shoes. It's the little things that we really use. We're not perfect, sometimes we come apart. So hold on close. What matters most, what we learn by heart, what we learn by heart. Sitting on my front porch playing my banjo, a friendly stranger walked up and said hello. Looking for my roommate, I offered her a song, and after 25 years, it still goes on. Just a couple days ago in the mail, I got this Easter card from Martha Martha was one of my students up in Duluth. So I'm sending this verse up to her. Martha and Julie in a house of a Piedmont with a tiny garden and a big backyard. They're getting older, so they do the best to help them out. They feed me pizza and they give me holy cards. When they were younger, they cared for their mother. I guess that's why they never married. Martha and Julie look after one another. They'll always be family. Pack a little singing with your traveling shoes. It's the little things that we really use. We're not perfect, sometimes we come apart. So hold on close. What matters most, what we learn by heart. What we learn by heart. Thank you all so much for coming out. Well, I'm going to give you a choice of 1 or 2 or 3 songs, so just choice 1, 2, or 3. You just kind of shout out which one you want.
5.
Yeah, this is, it's either going to be a slow song on the banjo, which you heard one slow song on the banjo. That's probably enough for any one day. So I'm going to, that was a song about things working out. This is, somebody kind of said, you play something with blues. I interpreted it that. I grew up in St. Cloud, playing folk music. You know, you're not going to get too blue out of me. Use a little machine here, just to... So I'll end with, this is a song called Something Like the Blues. I think that's the title. It doesn't get, this song doesn't get out very much, so. How does it go? I'm still kind of thinking of it in my head here. I can walk and talk myself to sleep. I can walk and talk myself to sleep. If I'm lucky, I might not weep when I think about you and all the promises. All the promises, all the promises we didn't keep. Fall and crawl and stall, stand still. Fall and crawl and stall and stand still. Such a little baby hill, oh, that finally broke our will and brought us to our knees. Brought us to our knees. Brought us to our knees like Jack and Jill. And I can curse in verse the whole night through. I can curse in verse the whole night through. But my mother always told me lay and pray with the best of saints. And I can lay and pray with the best of saints. Lately all my fears, well, they've been a double weight, and God has heard enough. God has heard enough. God has heard enough of my complaints. It's your nose and your toes and all your sacred parts. It's your nose and your toes and all your sacred parts. When I reach for you in the dark, when I only miss my mark, and all I find is a shadow. All I find is a shadow. All I find is a shadow of your heart. And I can walk and talk myself to sleep. I can walk and talk myself to sleep. If I'm lucky, I might not weep when I think about you and all the promises, all the promises, and all the promises we did. Put them together, they sound something